Moving on to some other topics though. It's still R.I.P. Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about legacy. What's the Jay-Z song? Legacy. Apparently, his legacy's been tarnished because of this. You might not know H. This interview. It's not just the interview, but part of the reason why I'm having the conversation. Gayle King, who's like Oprah's best friend, she presents and does interviews as well. She sat down with a WNBA player called Lisa Leslie.
Lisa Leslie.
And she brought up Kobe's
rape allegations.
In the conversation she's having with Lisa Leslie, and it caused a bit of a uproar on social media. From you got people like Snoop Dogg chiming in, and he went in saying, "We're coming to get you, bitch," to 50 Cent, Lil Boosie, and then a whole host of like blogs and everybody else. Ari Lennox as well. Let's just balance it out, because it's not just a man then. I like you, Vance. Balance is what we need, rude boy. Balance. Yes, Ari Lennox chimed in as well, and all four of those individuals did not fuck up. They didn't fuck with what she had to say. You're tarnishing his legacy. Why are you bringing it up? The timing. Is there disparity between this black man's allegations and some of your white counterparts from Harvey Weinstein? I think there's another individual that I've forgotten the gentleman's name, that's like behind the scenes on a lot of the shows he's on. He's got mad allegations and never been brought up in conversation, interview, questions, anything. So, but when I hear that, I'm like, what does man want? Does man want equality with rapists? Like, I don't know. We've got to be careful with what we're looking for here, innit?
100%.
We've got to be a little bit careful. Now, can we pinpoint the disparity? Yes, if there clearly is one, innit? You know? I just didn't like the question because I'm like, it's unfair on the alleged victim, first of all. They're having to relive this for everybody. No one cares about how that person feels.
Quick, before you continue, what was how was that case dealt with?
It never, it got thrown out. The victim didn't want to come to court. We can do perspective here.
I don't
Powerful
know the
celebrity,
facts.
political connects, money. You can make a lot of things go away. You can put pressure, possibility. A lot of cases are like that, where like they are cut and dry, but a woman doesn't want to relive it. Like if you actually go and look, at least for the UK anyway, yeah, like the percentage of a lot of crimes that get reported that are sexually related, from assault, rape, whatever, to actually going to get a conviction is very minimal. And it's not because a lot of those donnies are innocent. There's a lot of other variables, like you having to go and relive that in court, and then someone be questioning you, and their job is to pick holes in your testimony. What was you wearing that night? What was your mood? What was you drinking? What route did you take home?
Yeah,
what did you say earlier?
There's a lot of
just
that.
to create that doubt.
Even if you just look at like the
jury.
cases in Rotherham, do you know what I'm saying? There was a lot of that, and that's how a lot of these men got away scot-free, and I do understand that. I don't know the facts of Kobe's case. I just know that it was back in 2003, and I know that I don't know this for a fact, but I heard that he did admit to having sexual relations with with the woman. He admitted it, but I don't know how it ended or whatnot. So yeah. Obviously, with this interview that we're talking about, Gayle King and Lisa Leslie, she brought it up and said that, do you feel like this has tarnished his legacy? So obviously people are like, why are you bringing that back up? He's not even here to defend himself, blah, blah, blah. The timing, he's just passed. He hasn't even been buried yet. These are all the points and cases that people had come out with. And, she's been forced to kind of defend herself in that point.
What did she say?
I believe that she said that how the television network, was it CBS?
Yeah, so Gayle King blamed it on them, saying that they put out the clip. Like, obviously, they're going for the most like salacious, clickbait, the one that's going to bang the most on the internet, isn't it? And that was the one. It's very topical right now with Kobe, so we're going to go for that, innit? Like, and if I was to even find the audio, I think it's like a minute long. God knows how long she actually sat down with Leslie.
So that whole interview's not out?
No, I'm not even. And we can maybe find it, but like that's the clip in it. And she responds to them putting out that clip. Like, she's very upset, angry that that's what they put out, or the way they put it out.
But then the question was still asked: which is what everyone had a problem with, regardless of context.
Yeah,
Do
because
know what I'm
you
saying?
still ask the question.
It's still like no one's.
I found it. Sorry to cut you. So, the case against Bryant began on June 30th, 2003, when he checked into a lodge and spa facility. He was there to have a knee operation at a clinic nearby. After being led to his room by a concierge, Bryant asked her to return later and give him a private tour of the property. She did, and then Bryant invited her into his room. They both said later they began kissing, but what happened in the next few minutes became the heart of the dispute. The woman told the police that Bryant had raped her. Bryant said they had consensual sex. Prosecutors seemed to have a strong case. According to court documents, an examination of the woman at a hospital revealed a bruise on her neck and tears in her vaginal wall. Both her underwear and Bryant's shirt were bloody. Bryant told the police he had not explicitly asked for consent. While the issue of consent has long been at the heart of sex crime laws, how it is understood and taught has evolved, in part because of the high-profile cases like the one against Bryant. No means no has given way to yes means yes, and the idea of explicit consent has become the standard, rather than expectation that an objecting participant must say no. There's a little bit more. I'll probably get into that as we speak, but just that there with
the bruised neck and blood,
bruised neck, tearing of a vaginal wall. Apologies, or I probably should have given like a trigger warning. So apologies. Bryant told the police that he had not explicitly asked for consent. So, and from what I read here as well, after that, it's saying the prosecutor seemed to have a strong case. So, like, none of us know, innit? And I never want to blindly defend, because what am I really truly defending, innit? Like, it's got to be upset for some people. It's like maybe one of my football heroes growing up, like an Ian Wright or someone that meant a lot to me, and then find that person may be flawed, and massively flawed. I get it. But we like, I'm like, we got to draw a line in the sand, innit?
100%. It's weird because I remember like when he did pass away, like a few days after. Obviously, I was hearing these rumors years ago, and in my head I was thinking, someone's gonna bring this up.
But they've been trying to get him. There's not been big. So with the whole him getting the Oscar and stuff, certain film festivals didn't want to acknowledge or have his film as part of their rollout and stuff because of this, innit? Especially because obviously we're in the Me Too era and whatever. So it's like there's been people that have waited
supporting this,
you know. So no one really. Only people that know what happened in that room are these two individuals, innit? And my mind just goes to her straight away when this is all going on and we're having these conversations and it's out in the media forum and it's like being used as an agenda because everyone's playing media football, really, innit? Like, okay, cool. Let's ask the most pressing questions. Why did you ask that to Lisa Leslie? Why? And why should she face backlash if Kobe was her friend? Everyone has natural bias, innit? Let's just be frank. When we all have natural bias, innit? I would defend my friends to the like public anyway. In private, if I know you've done a mad thing, then it's different, innit? Obviously, barring like crazy stuff like this. But I'm gonna defend you, bro. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, of course.
Fuck what my bro done. That's my jigger. With an asterisk.
Like,
with an asterisk.
It's not even like a fuck what my bro done thing. It's like, it's a simple question. Do you know what I'm saying? And like, she's just given her, like, to what I can understand from this interview is that she's just trying to give the best possible, honest answer in a very uncomfortable situation. It's like, that's not what I know of him. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's never been that kind of guy. Yeah.
And why are you trying to paint, as a woman, why are you trying to throw another woman under the bus, another black woman under the bus for your agenda? It smells to me because it's like, she's your fool guy within this scenario.
Do you mind playing the clip?
As we talk, I'll see if I can find it, innit? Or see if you can find it, Vance. If you can. Probably just go on Twitter and just type in Lisa Leslie and Gayle King. I'm sure you'll be able to find it. If I can read some more of
because I totally hear what you're saying. Like I'm listening.
You want a bit more context? Do you want
do you know
I
what I mean?
understand.
Because I'm never someone to blindly do something. But at the same time, I'm also thinking to myself, it's a very weird time to bring that up. You see what I'm saying? Asking, like,
because you've got like, you're thinking about like obviously the alleged victim in this case.
Yeah, there's so
you're
many
thinking about his wife like, in this very difficult time. You're thinking about his other daughters, like that. You know,
your trust.
And I'm even more confused when she's saying that she's mad that they put it out. Because I'm thinking to myself,
you asked the question.
Like, yeah, you was there.
Did you think they were gonna cut it out?
Like,
they're thinking, right, this is if I'm that's gold, bro. Let's go, cutting room floor, editing. Let's fucking go.
I don't know if like, cause the problem is her bringing it up. So I'm thinking, how could we see in the whole? Because I'm thinking to myself, if the whole interview I'm like, how's there going to be context on that?
Yeah.
Right.
How does it?
I think I got it.
It doesn't make it. Yeah. If you
It's
don't
been
mind.
said that his legacy is complicated because of sexual assault charge, which was dismissed in 2003, 2004. Is it complicated for you as a woman, as a WNBA player?
It's not complicated for me at all. Even if there's a few times that we've been at a club at the same time. Kobe's not the kind of guy, never been like, you know, Lisa, go get that girl or tell her or send her this. I have other NBA friends that are like that. Kobe's, he was never like that. I just never have ever seen him being the kind of person that would do something to violate a woman or be aggressive in that way. That's just not the person that I know.
But Lisa, you wouldn't see it though. As his friend, you wouldn't see it.
And that's possible. I just don't believe that. And I'm not saying things didn't happen. I just don't believe that things didn't happen with force.
Is it even a fair question to talk about it, considering he's no longer with us and that it was resolved? Or is it really part of his history?
I think that the media should be more respectful. At this time, it's like if you had questions about it, you've had many years to ask him that. I don't think it's something that we should keep hanging over his legacy. I mean, it went to trial.
Yeah, with the case, it was dismissed because the victim in the case refused to testify. So it was dismissed.
And I think that's how we...
Gayle King, out of pocket for that shit. Way out of pocket. What do you gain from that? I swear to God, we the worst. We the fucking worst. We expect more from you, Gayle. Don't you hang out with Oprah? Why y'all attacking us? We your people. You ain't coming after fucking Harvey Weinstein asking them dumbass questions. I get sick of y'all. I want to call you one. Is it okay if I call her one? Funky dog head bitch. How dare you try to tarnish my motherfucking homeboy's reputation, punk motherfucker. Respect the family and back off, bitch, before we come get you.
Do you know what I'm laughing at? Because when he comes onto the camera, Snoop is wearing the RT scarf. And like the juxtaposition of... Bro, I'll show you the video.
Yeah, he is.
Man is wearing a scarf.
He's at home.
With a front knot.
In the echoey hallway.
The front knot's the killer.
And he's so vexed.
He's vexed.
Man,
Punk motherfucker.
Can we call her one? Uncle Snoop, no. Don't do it.
He did it anyway.
You can tell how angry he is, but I was like... Oprah's been looking funny in the light. And
for a while now.
Yeah, for a while. Remember the whole Monique thing happened and the man them caught strays? And just so I'm on record, this is me saying it. The two people that Monique has beef with is Oprah Winfrey, the real beef, and Lee Daniels, innit?
Ain't no one got beef with Oprah Winfrey, bro.
She got beef with her? She
put
a nice Instagram caption.
angry
She has
at-
beef.
bro.
She got smoked.
The rap community had beef with Oprah for a while.
Bro, ain't no... Bro, it's not
Yeah.
beef, yeah.
Yeah. I know how she used to treat Jay-Z when he used to come on this.
Bro,
Like,
you can not like them, it's not beef.
Yeah.
You can't do nothing
Monique
to her.
wants
You know
smoke
that way it's
still.
not beef,
The
because
only
you
one
can't do
that she
nothing to the other
accepted was
person.
Will Smith.
Yeah, she accepted Will still. Yeah, like she's been looking funny, like, but I'm like, bro, you know, like some man, like, you ain't gonna make him to promised land. What? You got our charge. Hey, big man, you ain't black. Like, there's some man like, you're not invited to the cookout. You're not with us. Like, what we trying to protect her, innit? Of course, you want to believe your hero is flawless, innit? But like I said, we do not know what happened in that room.
I don't even think, like, for me personally, like, I don't even think that, I don't believe that some of my heroes are flawless. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that it would be very naive of me to believe that. But obviously, in that regard, if you are guilty of that, and we know for a fact that that's what you did, fuck you forever, innit?
And is there ever
Do you know
good
what I'm saying?
timing? Is there ever good timing? Because really, truthfully, all of you are talking about like timing and like caring that every day posting this man on the gram, atting his wife in your Instagram post. Why are you atting the wife, bruv? You don't really care. You want your fucking Instagram to bang. I remember when Nipsey Hussle died, man are doing like 17,000 word captions and atting Lauren London 15 times on that. Are you alright?
But on the flip side of that, that could be endearing to some people.
Endearing where?
To know that your person or your loved one made such an impact on so many people. We don't know how genuine or this, like, how, do you know what I mean?
Very true.
Do you get me?
Maybe I'm being very cynical.
No, because
I can
there's
own
that side of it.
I can own that.
Do you get me? And I hear that as well.
Cynicism.
But then it's just the other side is that if people are being genuine and they've made that impact, then it's good feeling to know
because
that.
like, God forbid, like, you know, something tragic happened to my loved ones and I'm just getting like loads of like heart pouring messages. I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, you people aren't genuine within that time period. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be like, I'm not gonna. I'm trying to go through the acceptance of knowing that I won't see this person ever again, and I'm getting like an abundance of overwhelming messages and, you know, heartfelt support from people that understood this person's impact. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be upset by that, because the fact is the fact that this person has passed. And it's not even like everyone at me reminded me of that fact. It's just like, rah, everyone else has been hit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So,
I just feel like some people do it because they feel like they have to do
there,
it.
there is like, obviously from a neutral, from a neutral perspective, we can see like certain people being performative. But
like,
as the person actually going through it, I don't think they're going to see it that way.
I think when I think Mac Miller died, and I think I'm like, him and Schoolboy Q were quite close, isn't it? And Schoolboy didn't post anything on the gram or like make a tribute song and that. And people were in his comments at him. It's like, bruv, do you know what it takes? What dark place that would take me to go and write that song that you want me to do for you?
That would drive me mad, bruv.
Like, there's like, because that's why I don't like that expected way of behaving. So if you don't do it, so obviously someone's wrong, or you didn't really fuck with Mac like that, or what was going on with you before he died. Big man, I'm grieving over here. Yeah. I don't even want to even engage at all. I don't want to be online.
I know the saddest thing is, and I hate to even say that, bro, but that's the price of fame, bro.
Yeah,
that's the worst thing about it.
If that's me, sub me off. It's alright.
To get me, that's the price.
Sub me
of
off.
fame,
I got my money.
bro.
It's fine. Sub me off.
Like, you see when you
sub me off.
Because it's gonna, when you're in those positions or you put yourself in it, like, your highs are high, but your lows are low. You see what I'm saying? You have to perform in front of the fucking world at all times. And you're not in control of the world. You're only in control of yourself.
Because you're thinking about, like, obviously going back to Kobe, you're thinking about what he's managed to accomplish ever since then, which is what has built the legacy that we're all speaking of.
Mamba mentality come after that. It even says in articles. So let me even read a little bit after I talked about it. Okay, cool. So almost immediately, the case against Bryant became a news media circus, the biggest celebrity prosecution since the O.J. Simpson trial. Quickly though, the accuser's reputation came under attack. Remember I was saying to you about like being in court and they have to poke holes in your character. Yeah. Bryant's lawyer, Pamela Mackey, said the woman's name in open court 6 times during one hearing, even though the police and court officials had tried to preserve her anonymity and asked if her injuries could have been caused by having sex with 3 men in 3 days. So if I can paint you as promiscuous, it's like, she a Jezzy anyway, bro. Come on, you know, man. You know.
Wait.
I've got to speak the language for them to understand, bro.
No. But hang on.
That's what people do.
No. Hang on. Is it saying that?
No, that's what she tried to paint. That's what she. How she was building her case, isn't it?
Okay.
It's like you slowly do that at the start to have that in the back of the jury's mind. Have you ever watched the People versus O.J. Simpson?
Yeah.
Like the stuff they did to make the court.
I haven't seen it, but
but the jury like slowly drip feeding them information.
That's how you build a case, isn't it?
3 men in 3 days. Television crews camped outside the home of the accuser's parents, and her name was leaked by the court system 3 times. Like the Simpson case a decade before, the Bryant case quickly became about much more than what had happened in that hotel room. It was seen through the historical prism of a white woman falsely accusing a black man of sexual violence.
So it became a racial thing.
Obviously, she was white in this instance. At the same time, the case sparked commentary that perpetuated stereotypes about false accusations of rape. After the case was dropped, and this is the important thing, Bryant issued a lengthy statement apologizing to the woman and acknowledging her perspective of their encounter, which is farther than most public apologies go. So this is what he said, like a short excerpt. Although I truly believe this encounter between us was consensual, he said in a statement, I recognize now that she did not and does not view this incident the same way I did. With the legal troubles behind him, Bryant created an alter ego calling himself Black Mamba after Africa's deadliest snake, which figured in 2003 movie Kill Bill. So just that, bro, like, fam, remember I said we don't negotiate terrorists? God forbid, not me, my enemy, is that situation. No apology. No, I didn't do it. No. That there makes
is
me
that
think.
an admission of guilt?
It's not.
I don't see it like that.
I don't personally, but
Acknowledging that maybe the lines were blurred.
No, because blurred lines like definitely exist. You see what I'm saying?
They do.
It's like, for
100%.
example, do you know,
Shouts out to Robin Thicke.
that was cheap.
That was too easy.
Yeah, you could
I should have left it alone. I'm better.
you're better than that still.
I'm not. You judge me wrong.
But
Tap in on 40 yards. I'm taking every chance.
It's like you can see blurred lines even on like not as a serious level, like people in situationships and how they have blurred lines of where we are in a relationship, or it's like, no, we're not. People have those kind of situations, you see what I'm saying? And both people believe their side.
They both believe it to be true.
Yeah.
And they both could be right.
So in that regard, like no one's actually wrong. It's just a miscommunication. And obviously this is a lot more extreme than that. So that imagine being in that situation and seeing this woman and thinking to her like it wasn't that thing, but she genuinely thinks it is.
There's also a power dynamic,
Like,
isn't it? You're this famous NBA player, big Adonis of a man. Probably, this is me saying, been in that scenario many a time when you've had many a woman and it's a norm. What? Yeah, come on, break me up a piece. And you're getting down to it, but she doesn't feel comfortable fully. But it's Kobe, so I guess I'm gonna do it. But she maybe doesn't verbalize that. It's obviously saying maybe, innit? You can kind of see where possibly
Because then it stems into that, and so myself, it's like I said, there's
it's murky waters, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's like literally they could have had sex, and he's like, I just had sex, and she could have said it felt like rape. At that point, does that make it rape? He's like, well, I wasn't trying to. If you had said this is rape, I wouldn't have been on it, kind of thing.
Also, we've got to acknowledge that as men, a lot of us, growing up traditionally, when you hear rape, you think of the most violent, like Donnie grabbed someone off the street, held at knife point. A lot of them aren't. A lot more cases we've seen, especially with celebrity stuff, isn't the most violent act where Donnie's tied her to a tree and brutalised her. It's that we may have gone back to his or mine, and then my mind's changed by the time I got out of the cab. He's still in my house. I don't know how to make him leave. We're having sex, but I don't really want this. Like you said, now we can see where the blurred lines are occurring. Donnie's thinking, nah. And people say, obey non-verbal cues. Some people need explicit no's, like
an explicit.
And we need to have these open conversations so that we can get to a place where, like, innit? And being really frank, it's not every time I've had to hear like a yes for us to have sex. I know someone's gonna try and clip this and go, no. It's like you don't.
No, that's reality.
Yeah, you don't
it's
go.
reality.
Can I stick my You don't go. Can I do this?
I'm not gonna lie. For a long period of my life, I was very much.
You was trying to walk that.
I would. You get me? Like more time, especially if it was somebody new. Brother, I was always, because my mind is nuts, fam. I'm like,
you're thinking worst case scenario.
My life's been fucked. I've seen so much shit that I'm like,
fear is good, bro.
Do you get me? It's not even fear, it's caution. I don't do fear, bro. You see what I'm saying? But it's just one of those ones. I'm like to myself,
real hip hop.
Fuck off. But like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd think about it and I'm like to myself, anything could be misconstrued in a situation. You could literally, a non-verbal cue could be.
But then, like, this is how blurred it can be, because she could say yes. Do you know what I'm saying? You can ask, and she could say yes, and then
and she could say, I didn't mean that.
And then no, like just like mid intercourse, her vibe can change, and you're not necessarily reading that, and then later down the line, it's like, rah, next thing you know, you're being accused.
No, I totally hear, and that is a very blurred line. But for me, I'm always like, I was massive, like I said, them times there. I was massive on the verbal cues, because I'm like to myself.
I believe in most cases it's more of an energy thing, a vibe thing.
But you can't count on that. Do you see what I'm saying?
You can't. But then I just feel like this is a lot of people's default setting, men and women.
Because even I don't want to dive into this too much, but even when I'm hearing it, bro, it's so mad that you can say seeing bruises on the neck. And that's one thing, but then some people's sexual preference is like that. You see what I'm saying? So there's so much, it gets so mad over there, bro.
Do you know what's even funny though? Like, sometimes we do revisionist history. I think for us, obviously, basketball's not our first love. But don't get it twisted. Like, Kobe he's a rich black. As much as he appeals to other people, I'm even reading here, and I remember now as well, he had some kind of weird things to say about Trayvon Martin. Go and look it up for like any of our listeners when he died, and like his comments. I think he was sitting down with journalist Jamel Hill. Go and try and find a conversation. And if you'd seen that at the time, people looked at Donny funny. You know, like that element of like the blaming. It was that, especially that rich black, that uppity black.